My name is Olivia. I am an assistant professor at the Department of Sociology, and I teach mostly on the master course Human Rights and Politics. The nice thing about it is that it's a genuine desire to learn, often with a desire to have a positive impact on the world. So it's not difficult to keep them interested. They already arrive interested, and I learn a lot from that as well. So in my own research, I've been more and more interested in decolonizing the way that we teach. So not just the topic, but also where do we locate expertise in a classroom? And in that context, I've come to understand student voice not necessarily as just their opinion or them being able to add some anecdotes to the theory that we bring. But for me, student voice is to make space for the expertise that is always already present in the classroom. And that voice can come with, sometimes they bring things I never even thought of, even though I've been studying these things for 10 years or 15 years. But also I stop being the only one transmitting knowledge. So I can see that they learn so much more from each other than just from me, which is logical. There are many more of them, right? So student voice has become that. It's a source of expertise rather than opinion or testimonial. I don't necessarily have questions, like knowledge questions for them, but the prompt is what spoke to you in the readings and why, and how does it connect to an example maybe that you can give, right? So that they know that there is really not something right or wrong that they can say. I just want to see what triggers in their minds when they engaged all in the same readings. And I write it on the whiteboard. So they have a visual of what they are bringing. When we have enough time also, I might break it up and have them first discuss in little groups and then bring what the group discussed. If we have a lot of time, I'll do everyone individually. But usually I try and mix it up over the course of the week so that it's not just the students that are comfortable to speak who set the agenda, but I'm also trying to have the others speak, but not in a punitive way, like, oh, if you don't speak, then... And I noticed that by the end of, usually it's late, but by the end of the term, students are so naturally comfortable to share their thought because it's not, they know they won't be judged, not by me and not by their peers either. But they keep on saying how much they learn from each other. And often also, yeah, I do share that a lot of the readings I give them, sometimes I don't fully understand them either, if I'm honest. And I tell them. But year after year, whenever I give even sometimes the same readings, they pick out so many different things from it. So I do feel that also I start understanding it. It's actually not something that is that straightforward because students come with an expectation. They also pay a lot, obviously, that they will be tapping into somebody else's expertise, first and foremost. So it takes a while for them, I think, to also take seriously that they are experts. But I think what becomes clear is that it's not individuals with expertise sitting next to each other. We're building collective expertise. And so then I inscribe myself in that collectivity. So I'm not pretending that I don't know stuff. And I also tell them, I did think about this maybe 10 or 15 years longer than you guys, but that does not make me so much more expert than you because the expertise is something that is co-created. On the one hand, I keep trying to negotiate these structural changes because it's not just for me. And I think it's you know, the work that you guys at the Eden Center, where like to try and think collectively about what does education look like when we really want to do EDI or when we really want to do decolonizing. It requires adjustments at the structural level. So yeah, I will always keep on trying to negotiate that. Like, can we have more classes where it's only seminar style and not teaching? Or are we more free to organize it? Or can we allocate extra, whether you count it or not, but extra teaching time? Smaller classes. For me, it's quite important to understand that not as demands of a personal favor almost or an individual favor, but what does it look like when we have that conversation at the level of a whole school? When I went to uni, they just invented email, just to say, and the search engine was Alta Vista. So that's like a long time ago. Whereas today, students have under a second access to so much factual knowledge, real or fake or whatever. So I do think that that does fundamentally change what our added value is, right? So when we went to uni, we needed professors to tell us factual stuff and then maybe give us some theory around it. But for us to look up something, it was going to the library in the index card, you wait 20 minutes, you get the book, and then you read the book. And then, so if all of that goes away and you have immediate access to the factual knowledge, that means that as an academic, you bring something else. So I think that is what allows me to be okay to not cover every part of the world or every topic or every theory, because they can look it up. But I can give them tools, not to say what they should think, but how thinking, and mainly asking different questions rather than coming up with answers. My teaching has shifted, I think, from feeling like, oh my God, I have to be able to cram everything into these 11 weeks, to it is so random what I will choose. But as long as I tell you that it's random, you come with the own examples or expectations you might have, and I can give some tools that help formulate questions and destabilize the answers that we think we have. I would like them to describe me as someone who learns with them, I think. I would like that description because hopefully that is the thing that could convince them that they're already part of the answers that they're looking for, rather than that all the knowledge is outside of them and that they just have to accumulate it and, study, study, study. But if they can see someone who supposedly has been learning so much longer as showing up as someone who's learning alongside them, then it's also clear that this is an activity that they will have to do for the rest of their lives, hopefully.